Mobile phone on silent mode, and no photographs from the mobile. So please, this is a specific instruction from the governor's security team. No photographs from mobile phones. The chief guest arrives and the dignitaries sit on the dais.
अपने जीवा को पवित्र करते हुए श्री विश्वनाथ मंत्र का जाप करेंगे। ओम।
Next, we will have the welcoming of the dignitaries. Welcoming of the dignitaries with flowers and a book, please, and rose. Please start with the governor. Please start with the governor, sir. To whom it is being given? Dr. Chevan. Dr. Kamakoti, Director IIT. Dr. Rajkumar, Chairman, Lifeline Hospital and President, Youth for Nation, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry Chapter. Mr. Anna Pragada, President, BHU Alumni Association, Chennai. Mr. Govindram Agarwal, General Secretary, All India Malviya Mission. Dr. Professor Srinivasan, former President of BHU AA, Mr. Venkat Nagaraj. We have one more small formality. We have a beautiful memento the BHU gate made with engineering wood. May I request Mr. Tripathi to kindly hand over the memento to the guests on the dais. First to the governor, please. Mr. Tripathi will hand over the memento to the governor. Dr. Rajkumar, Dr. Kamakoti, Professor Murthy, Professor Chavan, Mr. Annapragada, Mr. Govindram, Professor Srinivasan, and Mr. Venkat Nagaraj. Thank you, sirs. Please. We will now have the welcome by Mr. Venkat Nagaraj, our General Secretary of BHU Alumni Association, Chennai. Thank you.
இங்கு கூடியிருக்கும் அனைவருக்கும் எனது இனிய மாலை வணக்கங்கள். ஆண்டுக்கு ஆண்டு தேதிக்கு தேதி 1000 இருக்குது சுபதினம். அடுத்தவர் நலத்தை நினைப்பவர் தமக்கு ஆயுள் முழுவதும் சுபதினம். தமது ஆயுளையும் கடந்து தங்களை நினைக்கும் நாளெல்லாம் திருநாட்களே, சுபதினங்களே என்று எண்ணும்படி வாழ்ந்து காட்டிய தமக்கென வாழா பிறர்க்குரியாளர்களான புண்ணிய புருஷர்கள், தீர்க்கதரிசிகள், பாரத தாயின் புதல்வர்களான இருவரை கொண்டாடுவதற்காக நாம் இங்கே கூடியுள்ளோம். நாடு சுதந்திரம் பெறுவதற்கு 40 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு முன்பாகவே தன்னிறைவு பெற்ற பாரதம் என்ற கனவு கண்டார் ஒருவர். அரசியல் ரீதியான சுதந்திரம் மட்டும் போதாது, அறிவு ரீதியான, கலாச்சார ரீதியான, விஞ்ஞான ரீதியான, தொழில்நுட்ப ரீதியான, விவசாய கல்வி ரீதியான, மருத்துவக் கல்வி ரீதியான உண்மையான சுதந்திரம் இல்லாத வெறும் அரசியல் ரீதியான சுதந்திரத்துக்கு அர்த்தமில்லை. இங்கிலாந்து நாட்டின் கேம்பிரிட்ஜ், ஆக்ஸ்போர்ட் பல்கலைக்கழகங்களுக்கு நிகரான ஒரு தன்னிறைவு பெற்ற ஒரு முழுமையான சிறந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்தை நாமே நமக்காக அமைப்போம் என்று உறுதி பூண்டார் அவர். கையிலே காலனா கிடையாது, ஆனால் கனவு மட்டும் மிகப்பெரியது. ஃபைண்ட் த பர்பஸ், மீன்ஸ் வில் ஃபாலோ என்ற கூற்றிற்கு தனது வாழ்நாள் சாதனை மூலம் கட்டியம் கூறினார் நமது நெஞ்சுக்கு நெருக்கமான மகாமனா மானனீய பரம்பூஜ்ய பண்டிட் மதன் மோகன் மாளவியாஜி. அதன் பயனை அங்கு பயின்ற நாம் அனைவரும் வெற்றியாளர்களாக வாழ்ந்து அனுபவிக்கின்றோம். ஹிந்து ரேட் ஆஃப் growth என்ற மிகச் சாதாரணமான வளர்ச்சி விகிதத்திலிருந்து விடுபட்டு ஆரோக்கியமான வளர்ச்சி வேண்டுமானால் குட் இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர் என்ற வலுவான கட்டமைப்பு அவசியம் என்பதற்காக தங்க நாற்கரம் போன்ற நல்ல பல திட்டங்களை அளிக்க தம் வாழ்நாள் முழுவதும் அர்ப்பணிப்போடு பாடுபட்ட மறைந்த பிரதமர் பாரத ரத்னா திரு அடல் பிஹாரி வாஜ்பாய் அவர்களின் பிறந்த நாளையும் குட் கவர்னன்ஸ் டே என்ற பெயரில் கொண்டாடவும் இங்கு கூடியுள்ளோம். மாளவியாஜி பனாரஸ் இந்து பல்கலைக்கழகம் என்ற மந்திர சொற்களை கேட்டவுடன் மகுடி நாதத்திற்கு கட்டுப்பட்ட நாகம் போல உடனே இசைவு தந்து இந்த விழாவை சிறப்பிக்க வந்திருக்கும் மேதகு தமிழக ஆளுநர் திரு RN ரவி அவர்களை BHU அலுமினி அசோசியேஷன் சார்பாகவும் பாரதிய இளைஞர் இயக்கம் சார்பாகவும் என் சார்பாகவும் मनदार வரவேற்கின்றேன். आपको हमारी प्यार भरी दिल की गहराई से स्वागत करते हैं. ஆஹா, அருமையான நிகழ்ச்சி. அதற்கு எமது அழகான அரங்கத்தை எடுத்துக்கொள்ளுங்கள், நானும் வருகிறேன் என்று ஆர்வத்தோடும் அன்போடும் வந்து விழாவை மேலும் அழகாக்கும் மரியாதைக்குரிய இந்திய தொழில்நுட்ப கழகத்தின் இயக்குனர் டாக்டர் திரு காமகோட்டி அவர்களை உளம்போடு BHU அலுமினி அசோசியேஷன் தலைவர் திரு வெங்கட்ராகவ் அன்னப்பிரகடா அவர்களை வரவேற்பதில் மிக்க மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். கல்லூரியில் எங்களுக்கு அறிவூட்டி எம்மை வழிநடத்தி ஓய்வு பெற்ற பின்னும் BHU அலுமினி அசோசியேஷன் சென்னை குழுவை சிறப்பாக வழிநடத்தி வரும் டாக்டர் ஸ்ரீனிவாசன் அவர்களை வணக்கத்தோடு வரவேற்கிறேன். பாரதிய இளைஞர் இயக்கத்தின் மாநில தலைவர் டாக்டர் ராஜ்குமார் அவர்களையும், தேசிய தலைவர் GS மூர்த்தி அவர்களையும், பேராசிரியர் GS மூர்த்தி அவர்களையும், தேசிய செயல் தலைவர் பேராசிரியர் DS चौहान அவர்களையும் உளமாற வரவேற்கிறேன். प्रोफेसर चौहान जी, आपको हमारी हार्दिक स्वागत है. பாரதத்தை உலக தலைமைக்கு தகுதியாக்க, விஸ்வகுருவாக உயர்த்த, பொற்கால பாரதத்தை உருவாக்க நமது இளைஞர்களுக்கு, குறிப்பாக மாணவ செல்வங்களுக்கு இனம், மதம், மொழிகள் கடந்து தேசிய உணர்வும் கலாச்சார பற்றும் சாதனை எண்ணங்களையும் ஊட்ட ஊக்கத்தோடும் உற்சாகத்தோடும் இணைந்து பணியாற்றி வரும் பாரதிய இளைஞர் சங்கத்தின் அத்தனை சொந்தங்களையும் அன்போடு வரவேற்கிறேன். BHU நிகழ்ச்சி என்று சொன்னாலே போதும், இதோ வந்துவிட்டேன் என்று ஆர்வமுடன் கூடியிருக்கும் அனைத்து சகோதர சகோதரிகளையும் நெஞ்சார வாழ்த்தி வரவேற்கின்றேன். இந்த அருமையான வாய்ப்பை எனக்கு அளித்த ஆண்டவனுக்கு நன்றி கூறி அமைகிறேன். வணக்கம். ஜெய்ஹிந்த்.
தமிழ் மழையில் நம்மளை எல்லாம் நினைத்த வெங்கட் நாகராஜுக்கு மிக்க மகிழ்ச்சி. அடுத்தது we will have a speech by through Venkata Raghava Annapragada, President of our BHU Alumni Association Chennai chapter. Mr. Annapragada.
எல்லாரையும் வணக்கம். Respected Honorable Governor, Thiru S.N. Ravi, Thiru Kamakoti, Director IIT Madras of our alumni, our family members and distinguished guests and members of Youth Nation. It is an honor for me to stand before you on the auspicious occasion of Malavi Jayanti, a day that celebrates the divine energy, wisdom embodied by Malavi Ji. This day reminds us of supreme power, devotion, knowledge and compassion that we as individuals and as a society must aspire to uphold. Today we gather not just to mark the ritual but renew our commitment to the values of Mahamalavi Ji presence. As alumni of Banaras Indian University, we are connected by a rich heritage, education, knowledge and spiritual growth. Malavi Jayanti allows us to reflect on the teaching of strength, resilience and enlightenment. At BHU, we are fortunate to have been part of an institution fostering intellectual growth, spiritual growth. This blend of knowledge, and wisdom is akin to blessings of Malavi Ji, who not only empowers us to excel in our fields, but also nurtures our hearts to pursue our service for the greater cause of society. On this special day, let us pay our respects to Malavi Ji. We deeply respect our Malavi Ji and esteem our professors and staff, mainly canteen people, who taught us and supported us during our time at BHU. Their guidance and values played a significant role in shaping our lives and success. Their influence went beyond our academics and helped us to instill important principles that have stayed with us throughout the journey. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Honorary Governor and the esteemed Director, Kamakoti Sir, for graciously taking the time to be with us and grace the occasion. Your presence and support mean a great to us and add immense value to this special event. We are truly honored and thankful for your involvement. I also thank dignitaries, our alumni, our families for joining us today to celebrate Malavi Jayanti. May this auspicious occasion inspire us to deepen our wisdom and strengthen us to make a positive difference in us. Jai Mahamalaya. Jai Hind.
Next we will have on stage Dr. J.S. Rajkumar. He needs no introduction to this Tamil audience. Chairman of Lifeline Hospital, holds the national record of 32 gold medals in his MBBS course. First Indian doctor to use Google Glass in surgery. An author, not just any author. He has told me once, He has written a book of 200 pages in 48 hours. A singer, an excellent orator, a nationalist to the core, a YouTuber, and many more. Sakalakala Vallavan, they say in Tamil. Sale advertisement நீங்கள்லாம் பார்த்துருப்பீங்க. They also make steel அப்படின்னு. அது மாதிரி நம்ம டாக்டர் ராஜ்குமார் also does surgeries. Dr. Rajkumar, please.
Very honored for that wonderful intro. At the outset, it's so lovely to see so many hearts, the same frequency here. Your Excellency, Mr. Arun Ravi, IPS Governor, thank you so much for accepting to come here, sir. As also Dr. Kamakodi, both of you have warmed the cockles of our heart. I would like to also thank senior people like Professor Chauhan is quietly sitting down. This man has been 8 times a Vice Chancellor, probably another national record. Next to him, Professor Murthy, the youngest man in our group, who at 84 is probably running around much more than any of us. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of the BHU greats here, like Dr. Venkat Raghavan, Dr. Srinivasan, and of course, Venkat Nagarajan, who Andi Mari Pudikhirathu Mari Tamil Pudinjaru. So, our Tamil Pudinja Mari, நம்ம தமிழை விட்டு விட்டுருமா, நம்ம ஹிந்தியில் கொஞ்சம் புரியலாம். In 1998, there was a man who was dying in the United States. Advanced kidney failure, both his kidneys had packed up and he was dying. And looking at death, he wrote a few beautiful lines. Inga uttuduvom Hindiya. Maut ki umar kitna hai? How long does it take for you to die? Do pal. Skip to say nahi. Just 2 moments. Magar zindagi ek silsila hai. Life is a continuous process. வாழ்க்கை என்பது ஒரு தொடர்ச்சி, ஒரு தொடர்கதை. சிர்ஃப் ஆஜ்கல் கி நஹி. இட்ஸ் நாட் ஜஸ்ட் ஃபார் டுடே, இன்னைக்கு மட்டும் இல்லை. Then he said, मैं जी भर जिया और मन से मरूं. முழு மனத்துடன் வாழ்ந்தேன், முழு மனத்துடன் சாக போகிறேன். जरूर वापस लौटूंगा. கட்டாயமா திருப்பி வர போறேன். कुछ भी से क्यों डरूं? பின்ன ஏன் நான் பயப்பட போறேன்? The man who wrote it was none other than the man whom we played the floral tributes to, our one and only great Atal Bihari Vajpayee. A man who was fearless in the face of death. And of course he survived, came back and then lived for another 19-20 years. But today I stand before you to tell you what we as Youth for Nation have. A fantastic team here. We have Ramki, we have Haripanji, we have Arvindji who's heading us, G.S. Murthy. What are we going to do? What is this tamasha all about? Many of you will be thinking, is this a one-night show? Is it a one-day program? No. Today, in Tamil Nadu alone, in a state of 8.12 crore people, we have 1.93 crore youth. We have the largest demographics of youth in India. 65% of India is less than 35 years. And 50% is less than 25 years, which probably makes the stage among the oldest cohort in the country. Every one of us, including me. We have such a young youth. I see so many young, bright faces there. He who controls the youth controls the future of the land. One of my great heroes said that, Swami Vivekananda, to whom I will be frequently referring to here, because in Youth for Nation we believe that what we need to do for the youth is, they've got universities, they've all got cell phones. Whether the parents have cell phones or not, the children have got cell phones. They've got gaming, they've got everything, they've got malls, they've got movies. What do they need? They still need the 3 great things that Swami Vivekananda said that they need. The 3 H's, the H3 formula. They need heads to think. They need to think out of the box. As an example, when Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishnananda, Raghunathananda, they struggled, put a court case and got the Belur land, Mutt, to start Belur Mutt. At that time, plague broke out in 1896, 1897 in Calcutta. Swami Vivekananda said, sell the land. We will look after the people. They said, we fought so much. We need to hold the land. He said, no. Humanity is more important than any mutt. He made a famous statement, and of course, luckily they saved the mutt. But that is the kind of head to think. 2, second H, what we hope to go around and cultivate in our youth is the heart to feel. It is not enough for us to be human beings. But as Swami Vivekananda wrote in 1898, a letter from Osaka, Japan, he wrote, it is important. If one thing I can tell you, my dear children, learn to be human. So it's not enough to be a human being, we must learn the art of being human. And for that we need to get these boys involved in Seva Bharati, get them involved in orphanages, get them involved in food distribution and blood donation, move them away from that I, me, mine cycle. So that's what we all intend to do in this Youth for Nation. A third H, like a heart. You have a head, but you need some people to think and they will feel, but they will do nothing, especially our voters. So you need hands to work. You need to go out there and help the needy, help the hungry, help the homeless. So first earn and then use that earning to help people. Beautifully Valluvar said, தாளாற்றி பெற்ற பொருள் எல்லாம் தாளாற்று காலை யூஸ் பண்ணி நடந்து ஓடி சண்டை போட்டு நீ சம்பாதிச்ச பொருள் எல்லாம் தக்கார்க்கு வேளாண்மை செய்தல் பொருட்டு. Use it and give it to the right people, and that's what we hope to inculcate in them. Again, Swami Vivekananda's message to the youth, he said all the youth need to know, you only need to do 3 or 4 things. You need to do man making. We need to make men, not boys, men. We need to do life building, and we've got with us people like Major Madan who go around to speak about what he can do in the army. We have people like General Rajiv Krishnan here, generals, so many generals to talk to them. Trainers like Chidambaram ji. We have people like Sundaram Seshadri, IT people. All this is part of our man-making scheme, life-building scheme, to give them chances to hold on and to fight on in life. And finally, assimilation of ideas. I always like to talk in terms of physics. A scalar force is our Indian youth. Huge scalar force. One cinema actor puts one song, 10 million views. It is not, I don't think any of us here are going to be putting again and again and checking that song again and again. It's the youth. It's a scalar force. And we believe it's our duty, having been born as Indians, to convert that scalar force into a vector force by giving it a sense of direction. That, I think, is what we really need to. In 1963, Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, the second president, came here to open a statue of Swami Vivekananda. Came all the way down south. And they asked him, why? You're a teacher, Vivekananda was a teacher. You're an orator, Vivekananda was an orator. You're all same in every way. And Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, so beautifully, like a bullet, he's supposed to have answered, no, me and all the other writers and so-called presidents, we all exist in the soil of India. But Swami Vivekananda lives in the soul of India. That is the answer of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. And we want to teach people. We have a wonderful country. பாருக்குள்ளே நல்ல நாடுனார் பாரதியார். இங்க டாஸ்மாக் எல்லாம் பார்த்தா பாருக்குள்ளே நல்ல நாடு ஆயிடுச்சு. We need to teach them that life is a constant struggle. And for that we have so many of our people sitting here. Vivekananda said every youth must know that whenever you come up with an idea, it can be a startup. We have Mr. Muniratnam here who has trained 200, 300 entrepreneurs. Life, when you start, there will be ridicule. Then there will be opposition. And finally acceptance. Fight till you get that acceptance, said Swami Vivekananda. And that is what we want to teach our boys. We want to teach them that people will throw stones. Take those stones and build yourself a nice house. The hands that throw the stones will get tired and then they will start clapping. This is what we need to imbue to the spirit of youth. In the last 1 year, we've stopped about 15 to 20,000 people, and we hope to carry on this job all over. We want to teach them, Bharadiyar sonna mari, ichagathilorellam edirthu nindra podilum acham illai acham enbadillaiye, to be fearless absolutely even in the face of death. Pachiyuni ainda ver padaigal vanda podilum acham illai acham enbadille, uchi meedu vaan idindi veeruginra podilum acham illai enbadillaiye. That is what we want to teach every student in Tamil Nadu and all over India. To finish, Swami Vivekananda's famous letter to youth saying, remember always, and tell yourself every day that strength is life, weakness is death. There will be death all around us. As doctors, we see death all the time. There will be death, and we should go beyond that. I want to finish my speech again by quoting the great Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He talked about death, and this is what we want to do to our youngsters. We want them to build character and a sense of this is my land. And I will translate as I go along for the sake of the Tamil people in English or in Tamil. He said, Bharat koi tukda nahi hai. We are not a fragment of a land. Ye ek jeeta jagta rashtra purush hai. This is something that breathes, lives and wins. It's a rashtra purush. It's a human being in national form. He says, ye अर्पण की धरती है, ये तर्पण की धरती है. This is the land, this is the mud of arpanam, of offerings. This is the land of tarpan, what we do for our ancestors. And then he said, ये वंदन की भूमि है, ये अभिनंदन की भूमि है. This is our land, Bharat, land of blessings. This is our land of आशीर्वाद, वंदन and अभिनंदन. And he said, इस भारत देश के लिए हम जिएंगे, we will live for this country. और इस भारत देश के लिए हम मरेंगे, we will die for this country. And that is what we want every boy to do. He can be a startup, he can be an army soldier, anything. And finally, the last two lines, which Vajpayee said so beautifully. और मरने के बाद, after we die, गंगा जल बहती हुई हमारी अस्थियां, the ashes of ours which are flowing in the Ganga. If anybody puts his ear and listens, कोई कान लगाकर सुनेगा. If he just said, what will he hear? I'm sure all of you know what the answer is. एक ही आवाज आएगी. Just one voice will come, and that voice is Bharat Mata Ki Jai. Jai Hind. Thank you all very much. This is what we intend to do over the next year or two with the Youth for Nation all across the state. Thank you all for a good listening, and we are very honored by the presence of our governor and everybody else here. Thank you all.
जोश भरी स्पीच के लिए धन्यवाद सर. Next we have Mr. Govindram Agarwal, 1974 batch mechanical engineer from IT BHU then, a PG diploma from IIT Madras. He is also the National Secretary of Mahamana Malviya Mission, and today is looking after the mission's work here in South. He is also the chief editor of Mission Sandesh, a quarterly house magazine of Malviya Mission. Mr. Govindram Agarwal, please.
Honorable Governor Thiru R.N. Ravi ji, respected Director Dr. Kamkoti ji, my dear Venkat Raghav, President BHU Alumni Association, Dr. J.S. Rajkumar, President Youth for Nation, Professor G.S. Murthy ji, National Coordinator, Sri Venkat Nagaraj ji, हमारे सीनियर हमारे गुरु प्रोफेसर दुर्ग सिंह चौहान जी, डॉक्टर श्रीनिवासन जी, बहनों और भाइयों, I am extremely grateful that I have been given this opportunity to be here with you, especially to the BHU Alumni Association and the director IIT. I had been a student here some 42 years back. I am really grateful. I will quote with Dr. Radhakrishnan. In Malviya ji, we find two great qualities of yoga: contemplative energy of Lord Krishna and practical efficiency of Arjuna. याद कीजिए वो BHU का गेट, BHU का विशाल परिसर, विशाल गेट और बाहर एक आदमकद प्रतिमा. लगता था कोई याज्ञवल्क ऋषि परंपरा का कोई ऋषि हमारा आह्वान कर रहा है. महात्मा गांधी इवन सेड फॉर मालविया जी, मेरे दुखों को, मैं तो मालवी जी महाराज का पुजारी हूँ, मेरे दुखों को वही दूर करेंगे, वो मेरे बड़े भाई हैं. मालविया जी का जन्म आज ही के दिन 163 साल पहले 163rd बर्थ एनिवर्सरी हम मना रहे हैं, 1861 में प्रयाग में गरीब परिवार में हुआ. वो गरीबी में पले, किंतु अपने पुरुषार्थ से, अपनी मेहनत से ही कलकत्ता का जो कांग्रेस का सेकंड अधिवेशन हुआ उसमें भारतीय राजनीति के क्षितिज पर उछा गए. उनका जो 5-7 मिनट का भाषण हुआ उस पर एओ ह्यूम ने अपनी रिपोर्ट में लिखा, वन सेंटेंस ऑफ हिज स्पीच बिकेम इमोर्टल ऑफ पॉलिटिकल डायरी, पॉलिटिकल वर्ड. दादा भाई नौरोजी, हु वाज प्रिसाइडिंग ओवर द फंक्शन, ही रोट, Mother India is herself resonant in the voice of this young man. He was a silver tongue orator. 1919 में जालियांवाला कांड हो गया, 171 रिवोल्यूशनरीज को फांसी की सजा होने की बात आ गई, कोई उनको बचाने वाला नहीं था. केवल मालवीय जी, जिन्होंने 15 साल पहले अपनी वकालत छोड़ दी थी, उन्होंने अपनी वकालत को फिर से अध्ययन किया और जब उन्होंने इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट में बहस शुरू की तो उस समय के जो चीफ जस्टिस थे इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट के, सर ग्रीनवुड, वो खड़े होकर के 3 बार ही बोर्ड हिज हेड टू मालवीय जी, सो स्ट्रांग वाज हिज आर्ग्यूमेंट्स। 1922 में जब चौरी चौरा, जब 1919 में जब जालियांवाला कांड हुआ तो 3 दिन तक मालवीय जी उसके विरोध में बोलते रहे। उस समय के जो होम मिनिस्टर थे बिसेंट स्मिथ, उनकी वाइफ कहने लगी कि मेरे पति मालवीय जी का मुकाबला नहीं कर सकते। मालवीय जी वर्कड नॉट ओनली फॉर BHU, ही फॉट अनटचेबिलिटी, ही फॉट इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट, ही वर्कड फॉर गीता, गायत्री, गंगा, ही वर्कड फॉर नारी शक्ति, नारी शिक्षा। कोई ऐसा एरिया नहीं है जिसमें मालवीय जी का योगदान न हो। 1916 में जब इंडस्ट्रियल कमीशन आया तो सर थॉमस हॉलैंड की अध्यक्षता में, तो मालवीय जी पीपल्स रिप्रेजेंटेटिव चुने गए। मालवीय जी ने प्रूव किया कि हमारे यहाँ के इंडस्ट्रीज को ब्रिटिशर्स ने जानबूझ करके खत्म कर दिया है। हमारा नायलॉन बेबीलोन तक जाता था, हम स्टील में, हम कॉटेज इंडस्ट्री में काफी आगे थे। इसलिए हमारा इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट होना चाहिए और उन्होंने कहा कि आवर इंटरेस्ट शुड बी प्रोटेक्टेड फर्स्टली, सेकेंडली एंड थर्डली। फर्स्टली मीन्स the local raw material should be utilized. Secondly means industries should be introduced in India. Thirdly means the profits should remain in the country. इस तरह से ये उनका विजन था। उनकी दिशा में आध्यात्मिकता थी, उनका डायरेक्शन रिलीजियस था, लेकिन उनकी अप्रोच साइंटिफिक थी। कोई सोच सकता उस जमाने में माइनिंग और मेटलर्जी, बल्कि गांधी जी और मालवीय जी दोनों एक दूसरे के प्रति बहुत ज्यादा रिस्पेक्ट होते हुए भी टेक्नोलॉजी के मामले में, मशीन के मामले में थोड़ा सा अंतर था दोनों का। मालवीय जी काफी प्रोग्रेसिव थिंकिंग के थे। इसलिए 22 मार्च 1915 को जब BHU बिल पेश किया गया तो उसमें कहा गया कि आई डोंट वांट ओनली डिग्री होल्डर्स बट आई वांट द ग्रेजुएट्स हु कैन रिटर्न टू द सोसाइटी। दैट वाज द अप्रोच ऑफ मालवीय जी। ये केवल डिग्री बांटने वाला यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं है, इसके मूल में धर्म है, इसके मूल में धर्म है। प्रसादात विश्वनाथस्य काश्याम भगीरथी तटे विश्वविद्यालय श्रेष्ठो हिंदू नाम मानवर्धना। यह BHU का उद्देश्य लिखा हुआ है, वहां पर शिलापट पर है। इस दृष्टि से महामना मालवीय जी को हम याद करते हैं। उनकी मेमोरीज को बनाए रखने के लिए, दलितों के उत्थान के लिए, एक बात मैं कह करके मालवीय मिशन का 2 मिनट में खत्म करूंगा कि दलितों के उत्थान के लिए महात्मा गांधी और मालवीय जी, जगजीवन राम जी ने खुद लिखा है। जगजीवन राम जी को जब लेकर के आए, मीरा कुमार ने खुद हम लोगों के सामने ये संस्मरण सुनाया कि जगजीवन राम जी जब मेस में खाना खाने जाते थे तो कुछ उन दिनों चूंकि छुआछूत बहुत था तो महाराज बर्तन नहीं उठाने को तैयार होते थे। तो मालवीय जी आ गए, उन्होंने कहा मैं बर्तन उठाऊंगा। यह मालवीय जी का था। उन्होंने कलकत्ता में, मुंबई में बड़े बड़े अधिवेशन कराए अनटचेबिलिटी के खिलाफ। उन्होंने जो नासिक का कालाराम मंदिर है उसके लिए आंदोलन किया। खूब खुले मंदिर खुले, खुले स्कूल चहुं ओर, सभा सड़क पनघट खुले, नाचत है मन मोर। जब उन्होंने सभी खुलवा दिया तो उन्होंने खुद ये पोएम लिखी कि मैं बहुत खुश हूं। तो टू प्रोटेक्ट द मेमोरी ऑफ महामना दिस ग्रेट मैन, Mahamana Malviya Mission was established in 1978 at Delhi. It was inaugurated by the great scientist Professor Atmaram ji. Soon the branches spread at Lucknow, Delhi, Lucknow, BHU, this Patna, Ranchi, Hyderabad, Bengaluru, and so many places. We are working, so many luminaries like Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, Dr. APJ Kalam, Dr. Karan Singh, and many other luminaries have attended the function. We are working on the complete works of Mahamana Malviya in 22 volumes. 11 volumes of this Vangama was released by the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji on the same day last year at Vigyan Bhavan, Delhi. This was the detail in this book. 11 volumes are different. This is our quarterly magazine which I have been editing. In this magazine, these details are given, how it was inaugurated and all that, where we can purchase. These 22 volumes of original works of Malviya ji. We are working in the field of education and social service. For social service, we have adopted some children. Ramesh, a 3 years boy, who did not know how to count 1, 2, 3, नमस्ते क्या होता है, क्या किसको माँ पिता किसको बोलना चाहिए, ये भी उसको नहीं आता था, because he was adopted by some missionaries. तो जब उसको किया तो उसका लाइफ चेंज हो गया. He is working in the MNC at Gurgaon. Like that, inter-college is there and so many education and social projects are there. Now we are having a program, South India BHU alumni meet at Delhi, at Hyderabad on 2nd February. I call upon all BHU alumni to register. It is a free. Google form registration form is there, and it will be a great function to be attended by Sri Manoj Sinha ji and others. At last, मैं महामना मालवीय जी को डॉक्टर शिवमंगल सिंह सुमन के शब्दों में श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करूंगा कि हुआ युग धर्म का बंदा, फिरा दर दर किया चंदा, खड़ा ही कर दिया उसने पुनः भारत का नालंदा, हमारे महामना की, हमारे मालवीय की जय।
Thank you, sir. Next, we will have a speech by Professor D.S. Chavan, working president of Youth for Nation. When his name came up for the speech and we had to seat him on the dais, I did not know whether I had to seat him on that side or on this side. He graduated B.Tech Electrical Engineering 1972 from ITBHU, M.Tech in 78 from NIT Trichy, PhD 86 from IIT Delhi, and 88 to 91 postdoctoral work he is done at NASA, USA. He incidentally joined BHUIT as a faculty also, and I was told just today that he was president of the Students' Union at BHU in 1974, much before our present Lieutenant Governor of JNK, Mr. Manoj Sinha. He holds a number of posts: Vice President and member AICTE, PG UG Board Chairman, Board member, and the list goes on and on and on. Former Vice Chancellor LPU. He has guided 61 PhDs, 3 DSCs, 300 research papers to his credit, 4 books, 100 popular articles, and he has also got the Best Engineer Award from I Lucknow in 2001. Dr. Chavan, please.
His Excellency Governor, Tamil Nadu. I was thinking he is a very old person, but very young. Professor G.S. Murthy, who is very old, guiding force for every one of us. On dice because I am also from BHU. I joined BHU in 68. Earlier I joined IIT Kanpur, but I shifted to BHU because Kanpur campus was not very secure for me. I hear from the family, they were very conscious of security. I think nobody can deny the contribution of great people of 19th century. Starting from Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Dayanand Saraswati, and then just you come Theosophical Society, Annie Besant, she was born in 1845, Ramakrishna Paramahansa, 1836, Macaulay and very contemporary of Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Then all the way, if you just go, Tilakji, 1856, and Bipin Chand Paul, 58, Malviji, 61, Vivekanand, 63, then you can Gokhale also, 3 years senior to Gandhiji, and 1 year senior Lala Lajpat Rai, 65, 64. So you can have galaxy of the people of 19th century. But Malviji has got a very different kind of his personality. At the age of 51, he decided I will be like a Banprasthi. He never practiced after 51 years of age. Entire country he visited, created number of organizations. Because I was in Uttarakhand for 2 terms as a Vice Chancellor of the Technical University. I visited 23 organizations he created over there, including this Ganga, what you call Bachao Samiti of those days. Even the founder of Gayatri Parivar, Sri Ram Acharya, he told me that I was initiated by him. I was surprising such a great person who himself is a very, learned scholar who has written commentary on almost all Vedas, everything. So Malviji, then I met one Mahamandali, so he told I was also initiated by Malviji. So I was wondering how many people he initiated. But you cannot find a single person in the campus of the BHU that I think any student may not be remembering his own father, grandfather, but throughout life, he cannot forget Malviyaji. We have not seen Malviyaji, but we cannot forget Malviyaji. In my life, because I hail from the organization, because I was whole timer of the RSS, whole life I was in RSS. So I came in contact of various leaders, because my contemporary, you can just imagine, 74, when I was president of the BHU, that side, our Kerala, His Excellency was my contemporary, Venkaiah Naidu was my contemporary. Even Arun Jaitley was just vice president, then become president. So those days, student leaders were participating in various movements. At very, when I was in NASA, that time something happened to the health of Atalji. So he called me once. How far you are from my place? He was in the New York. I am only 250 miles. Can you come? I am not feeling well here. Nobody is here to talk to me. And I was not knowing, how to run the car in the New York and New Jersey areas. So then immediately I just picked up one person. I told him, do you want to meet Atalji? He told, yes, why not? And I made him full and we both went there. And after that, he could not realize that he is suffering from something. He cut so many jokes to him. He told, I will again come. Either Chauhanji will come or not, but I will come. Such a great person, Become one with the person, even in the suffering, because I have seen that he was having some doubt on his, the liver, some malign, And Atalji was also very close to a lot of people, but with me, because I was a student leader, so many times he came in my contact. But yes, you can see, Malviji was 1861 born, he was 1924 born. And then our generation, almost 25 years after him born, because now I am 76, but to him, we were just like a child, And in my life, one incident was very, very, I was, he told that I want to come to BHU. But no, you don't come. Because there will be a gathering, we cannot control your gathering. Oh, so you want to deny me that I should not come. He was cutting joke, I was also cutting joke to him, because he was always feeling with the young people more close, and then he was, a kind of a personality. He was always, a different person all the time. If you just go, you can. That Rajan Sharma who was with me so there was nothing there, just like some, what you call this, churi and kanta and all that. So he told, no, chammach was not there, spoon was not there. So he told, अरे अटल जी आपको तो पॉलिटिक्स में बहुत चम्मच मिलता होगा. बोले नहीं, हमको तो छुरी और कांटे ही मिलते हैं, हमें कभी चम्मच नहीं मिला. A kind of a joke immediately, And today we are here for celebrating the bigger, the personality of this country. Even our CNR Rao, UR Rao, they were all students of the BHU, 1952 batch. And they become Bharat Ratan. Malvi ji is also Bharat Ratan. कहते हैं जैसे माता पिता होते हैं वैसे ही बच्चे, तो वी आर ऑल इन द what you call tradition of the BHU. I was selected as a lecturer, I think, was a professor from here, Narayan Rao. He was high voltage engineering professor, Professor Narayan Rao. He was very handsome personality from Karnataka, I think. So I still remember IIT Madras contribution in my life. And today we all came here just to have a glimpse of our Tamil Nadu chapter, because today His Excellency will inaugurate. And we have made tradition that all the chapters of the Youth Foundation will be inaugurated by His Excellencies. Now, a couple of dozen, the states had been already inaugurated. And this is the organization where you can find DGP, IPS, IAS, former vice chancellors, professors, scientists. We are more than 2,000 people together. We are just going, addressing youth, because old for youth and youth for nation. This is the equation actually. Because after retirement, they should not just go for the job. They should always dedicate whatever they have in their life, essentially what they have experienced, they should give to the next generation. And those who give to the next generation, as Malvi has told, आपको यदि भारत माता से ऋण होना है, if you want to pay off your entire debt of the life, sacrifice your life for the motherland. In the tradition of the Lord Rama, he has composed one sloka also. Ap swarnamayi lanka name lakshmana rokshate janani janam bhumisya swargada vigariyasi. The person who can dedicate his life to mother and motherland, he will always get the salvation. And I think this message of the Malviyaji, then he was always remembering Rantidev of Mahabharata. Na rajyam, na swargam, na panarbhavam, kamaye dukh taptanam, praninam arthanasnam. He wanted to dedicate, Malviyaji was the member of the Hunters Commission. Why this mining metallurgy came? Because Hunter was himself mining engineer. And BHU, one more thing I want to reveal about BHU. The first batch came in 1924, 1919 to 1924. From 24 to 47, you will not find a single engineer of the BHU who has not initiated some kind of industry. That the great contribution of those engineers to electrical and mechanical was the first department of the BHU in India. That was the industrial, impetus given by vision of the Malviyaji, because he was the member of the Hunter Ayog Commission. It came 2 times, in 82 and then again it visited India, and he inspired from his own experience that we start mining and metallurgy. So today, my humble submission to His Excellency, that your presence is exciting us, and everyone is highly feeling, something very different. And I feel, because I gave more lectures, I was thinking for the Youth Foundation, but I become more emotional as a BHU student. And with these words, I pay my regards, respect to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Chavan. From one stalwart to another. Now we come to Dr. V. Kamakoti, Director, IIT Madras. He received his MS and PhD degrees in Computer Science and Engineering from... I am told he doesn't have a passport yet. He has never crossed the boundaries of India. He is a personification of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Dr. Kamakoti.
Thank you very much. His Excellency, Governor of Tamil Nadu, to Ravi sir. Today we are triply happy. The first one is that the Kashi Tamil Sangamam, the first curtain raiser, happened in this hall. And today I realize so many Kashi Benaras people are here. The second important thing is that the essential thought of Kashi Tamil Sangamam originated at the Raj Bhavan, and Honorable Governor came here to inaugurate it. And I am also very happy to announce that Kashi Tamil Sangamam 3.0 is starting on February 15th. And so this hall reverberates it. So I am extremely happy that we are hosting the great BHU and alumnus here. Friends, when I took over as director, one particular statement of Malaviya ji came to my mind. Start the purpose, means will follow. Right? So all my projects have started with zero, but we have reached all that we need, either in form of funds, in form of this port, and BHU is such a very great example. Today we are celebrating two stalwarts. Malaviya ji, we respect. The first introduction to Malaviya ji came when my father, who was a professor of Sanskrit, visited the BHU somewhere in the late 60s, and the gardener told my father, Malaviya ji ke saman ek mahan nahi hai. Okay, so that is what that's the first time I heard about Malaviya ji. A gardener of BHU had such a great respect for this great soul. He was one who started education for all, and specifically women empowerment was very much in his agenda. We have read many things, and we have also started many things for the benefit of women, especially addressing the gender balance. When the United Nations started looking at this as sustainable development goal in the last part of the close to 2000, very early in the 19s, in the beginning of the 20th century, Malaviya ji actually has thought about this, and that was also a framework for BHU. And of course, to our great Prime Minister, Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, many things today we have seen. The Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, which are very close to our heart. We are also doing a project called Vidya Shakti, specifically inspired by the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Atal Pension Yojana and Golden Quadrilateral are some things that we always remember, and that was the visionary he has set up. And we are very proud that every day we remember these two souls, because one is Madan Mohan Malaviya teacher mission, where we train lot of teachers on a regular basis. The programs are conducted year long, and every month or twice a month I inaugurate those things. So I do remember every month Madan Mohan Malaviya ji, and of course the Atal Innovation Mission, which is very aptly named after Sri Vajpayee ji, because he was actually one who has fostered this innovation and when he was the Prime Minister. So friends, today Youth for India is very important. The main thing, Youth for Nation, is very important, because today Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam has become a very important aspect, especially when we are looking at a sustainable world. Now what does Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam mean? The full stanza here is much more important for us. That comes from the Maha Upanishad. I am Bandhuhu, I am Naiti, Ganana Laguchetasam, Udara Charita Namtu Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. He is my friend, he is my enemy, he is my relative, he is not my relative. This all come from completely immature souls. A matured soul looks at the whole world as a single family. Friends, we have to, as mentioned by Raj, we have to develop India, we have to develop the youth who are looking at the whole world as a single entity, a selfless, altruist character that we need to build in our youth. And I think by all these programs that Youth for Nation is projecting and involving the youth, I am sure Viksit Bharat 2047 will have several realized souls who will look at the entire world as one earth, one future, one family. With these good intentions, I again am extremely happy to invite you all to IIT Madras campus, and let it be a beginning. We should see much more interactions between the two institutions, and let us all pay our respects to these two great souls. And this respect is not just by flowers, but by action. Let us involve ourselves as institutions to create these very realized souls who will lead this Viksit Bharat 2047 in a great way and lead India to become a knowledge superpower. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kamakoti. Thank you for inviting Youth for Nation to IIT. Maybe we could take it from here, Dr. Rajkumar ji. You are sitting next to Dr. Kamakoti. Please organize the next program here. Next, we will have our chief guest, Thiru R.N. Ravi, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu. He holds a master's in physics and joined the Indian Police Service in 1976 and was allotted the Kerala cadre. He served in Kerala and also in different parts of the country in different capacities. He was also at the Central Bureau of Investigation. He's led several anti-corruption crusades against organized criminal gangs, including the mining mafia. While in the Intelligence Bureau, he has worked largely in violence at areas like Jammu and Kashmir in the northeast. After retirement from government service in 2012, he took up journalism and has contributed regularly to several leading national dailies. He was also the chairman of Joint Intelligence Committee in the Prime Minister's office. He was appointed by the Centre as Centre's interlocutor for the Naga Peace Talk in August 2014 and achieved tremendous success in ushering peace in Nagaland after 7 decades. He was also appointed Deputy National Security Advisor in October 2018. He has served as Governor of Nagaland before being appointed as the 26th Governor of Tamil Nadu in September 2021. He has always been forthright in his approach and is a man who likes to play with a straight bat. Times of India in 2021 called him an officer and a tough gentleman. Thiru R.N. Ravi, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu. Please, sir. 1 minute, sir. There is a small thing which I forgot. We'll have the formal inauguration of Youth for Nation. I would request the Governor to hand over the plaque as an inauguration symbolism to Professor Murthy and Dr. Rajkumar. Thank you, sir. Thiru R.N. Ravi, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu.
Dignitaries on the dais, Professor Kamakoti, Director IIT Madras, Thiru Venkat Raghav Anpragada, President Bharat, the Banaras Hindu University Alumni Association Chennai Chapter, Thiru Govindaram Agarwal, All India Secretary Madan Mohan Malviya Mission, Professor G.S. Murthy, Chairman, Youth for Nation Foundation, Dr. J.S. Rajkumar, President, Youth for Nation, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Dr. T. Srinivasan, Executive Member, BHU Association, Alumni Association Chennai, Professor D.S. Chauhan, Working President, Youth for Nation, Thiru Venkat Nagaraj, Honorary Secretary, BHU Alumni Association, Chennai, distinguished alumni of BHU, other dignitaries, students, esteemed guests, Anaivarkum Vanakkam. Today is a very, very auspicious day. The day on which two of the greatest sons of Ma Bharati were born. One, Mahamana Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji, who dedicated his entire life for building this nation. His whole life was a tapas. Another, our former Prime Minister, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who made the country proud, because when we were being blackmailed by the powerful countries, he made India a Bharat, declared it as a nuclear power. We had demonstrated the capacity in 1973, but somehow we didn't have that boldness in our heart to declare it, yes, here we are, we have it. And don't try to be funny with us. But Vajpayee did it. And of course, he gladly, the whole country gladly, not only stood by him, but we faced the consequences, which was only short-lived, which made us stronger, which made us more resolute. And look at where we are today. Friends, Malviya ji, he was such a great divine personality. For us, we are too small to talk about him, to describe him, because we will only be able to describe a facet of his life. He was much, much bigger. The person who steered the course of national freedom movement at a very crucial time, was elected 4 times the President of Indian National Congress. The person who, facing all the odds of the British, created this great institution of which the whole country, Bharat, is proud, which is Banaras Hindu University. An university with a vision, unlike others, a vision to rebuild Nalanda, rebuild Takshashila. A blend of a spiritual wisdom and science and technology. An institution where a student would come out imbued with the wisdom of the past, a spiritual wisdom of the past, which is wisdom of Bharat, and also equipped with the latest in the science and technology which gives you the material muscle in the world today. And with a vision that when they combine the two, you have a vision for Bharat. But Bharat was at for a long, long time before it was trampled by the invaders and colonizers, to regain the glory of this great nation. I'm happy and thankful to BHU Alumni Association to organize the event, to remember him. I know that a BHU student, no student of BHU will ever forget him. But was it to be confined only to BHU? Is it only that the BHU Alumni Association or BHU student alone should remember him? Why is it that such a great son of Ma Bharati was slowly erased from the memory of the national consciousness? Why did it take for the country, for a Prime Minister like Prime Minister Modi to come in 2014 and respect him and honor him with Bharat Ratna? Why was it not recognized? Was it because he was against appeasement? Was it because he set up Banaras Hindu University and in anxiety for appeasement, any decoration, any official honor to him would have been construed otherwise? It's something which is not only bewildering, but something which torments the soul of the nation. After the British left, the nation took a different course away from the direction in which it was moving during the national freedom movement. Why did Malviyaji created the BHU? And that's very, very relevant to think of, to ponder over the context, the time frame, the background, the backdrop in which this institution came up. Why did he think of it? We know that this great country with such a proud civilizational heritage was ravaged, was destroyed for hundreds and hundreds of years, nearly 1,000 years. And when the British came, they systematically began destroying the very soul of Bharat, the very identity of Bharat. Try to infuse a sense of inferiority complex in every Bharatiya, that you are someone inferior. And infusing a sense of superiority towards European, the British and other Europeans. It's not that they were not aware of the great civilization of this country. In fact, they succeeded so much in weakening our sense of self, the sense of our pride in our nation, in ourself, in our ancestors, in our heritage, so much so that even after the British left, and even today, we seek validation of something that we have done and we have achieved if someone in the West tells. When the British began colonizing this country in the later part of the 18th century, after the Battle of Plassey, when they captured Bengal, a large number of British academicians, scholars, they descended on this country, Bharat, because they had heard about the rich wisdom of this place. They had heard largely through Germans and others, those who had come, they had those who had studied, and they had carried the tales of the ancient wisdom of this great country. So they descended, a large number of them. At the time, of the three centers of excellence in UK, Oxford, Cambridge and Edinburgh, Edinburgh was more curious at that point of time. A set of intellectuals came, set of professors came, like Professor Adam Ferguson, Robertson, Playfair, McNaughey, a whole team. They kept coming mid-60s, 1765 onward. They kept coming and visiting and seeing. And they were completely overwhelmed by what they found there. And then they wrote a letter to the British government. Actually, it was not the government direct, but they had created the board of control for the company because they realized that now it was the time for them to control the company from behind. So board of control, the president, Henry Dundas, who was a very influential politician, to whom this band of professors wrote a letter signed by Professor McNaughey in March 1788. It is available on the net, you can check it. In the letter, the professor says that this country is so rich in philosophy, in science, technology, so much knowledge is there that you must discover where they are located, those texts, collect, take it, and translate. Discover, collect, and translate all the materials that exist there in this land. And then they write, because it will help us. It will not only enrich the European thought process. That was the time for Renaissance, intellectual Renaissance in Europe. They say it will enrich the European thought process. Not only it will enrich the European thought process, but it will also enrich and expand the science, mathematics, astronomy. These are the words that they've used. It will help us, then further he writes, it will help us to know about the celebrated people. Celebrated people. And then he refers to Hindus. Celebrated people, Hindus, from whom Moses received his learning and Greek their art and religion. Moses came 1,000 years before Jesus. This was the admission by the British scholars themselves that this was the civilization of this place. Moses received his learning and Greek their art and religion. And then the process began, collecting. And then they realized that if they had to rule this country, they must, these proud people, the people who are inheritors of such rich philosophy, rich tradition, rich heritage, rich institutions, they must kill their sense of self. They must. And that, as a matter of design, as a matter of policy, through their education policy, their policy to kill the indigenous education system. And by teaching fabricated and concocted history of this country in their schools and colleges run by them, because other institutions were systematically closed, they tried to infuse that sense of inferiority, to kill the sense of selfhood, the pride. And they succeeded to a great extent. The process was on. And it was the beginning of the 20th century that a person, great person like Mahamana realized that British rule was, the end was not in sight. The First War was over. Things were all okay. British were victorious. There was nothing to worry about it. He thought that while the freedom movement to take a long time, one doesn't know how long, they must do something to preserve the spiritual wealth of this country. And when he says about a spiritual wealth, he was not. Today people, they feel inhibited when they talk about Hindus. I don't know whether today anybody would have the courage. Of course, till the other day, anyone would have the courage to have it like that. But he did. Because when you say Hindus, the ancient Shastras, the knowledge, the wisdom, it is not parochial. It is not excluding. It doesn't say that you and us and they. We talk about we. Because this civilization is based on a darshan, a philosophy, that the whole world is a family. Mama Atma Sarva Bhutatma. Sab vyaro. There is no other. So this is all inclusive. This rich heritage must be preserved. And a dharmic way of life must be restored. It must not be allowed to perish. And that is how he was very clear about it. That in the curriculum, while the spirituality was taught, he was also very conscious of the fact that Bharat must be ahead in material science. Because what the Europe had at the time, imagine, power of a steam engine and gunpowder, they conquered the whole world. Colonized it, exploited it with these two technologies, a steam engine and gunpowder. You cannot be left behind in the matter of technology. And so he was very clear that he would set up an institution, educational institution, which will inculcate the values, sanskar, the wisdom of the past, and also equip the students with the necessary requisite knowledge in science and technology needed for seeding this nation, seeding this country with industries, bring the industrial revolution on this very land. Because it was the industrial revolution that had given that much power to Europe at the time. With that intention, he created it. Unfortunately, after he left, attempts were made to forget him. Because after independence, the direction in which the country moved was away from what it was supposed to be. What made this whole diverse great country as one, as Bharat, was this Sanatan Hindu philosophy, the darshan, that unites everyone, that doesn't distinguish anyone. There is no concept of you and I, it is we. It doesn't tell about you must follow this, otherwise you have no right to be here. There is no my way or highway, every way is a highway. This is this great, such all-embracing, all-inclusive, mind-boggling. In fact, much later, Sri Aurobindo, at the time of independence, he wrote his dreams, where he said that now the time has come for Bharat to fulfill her destiny. Because he said that in this whole planet, why this wisdom that the whole creation is a family came only on this land? Why didn't it come anywhere else? Was it accidental? He said no. It was providential. It was designed by the divine. This is a punya bhumi. This is not, one of the speakers mentioned about Atalji saying about, this is not a piece of geography. Ya jameen ka tukda nahi. It is not a piece of geography. Bharat is not a geography. Which the Europeans, the British tried to make us and the world believe. So much so that at the time when independence came and when it was being partitioned and so many princely estates were to be made independent countries. And there were some people in Britain who asked that what would be the future of this moth-eaten country when you have, within the country you have more than 560 independent countries. Will it survive? And then Winston Churchill, who hated this country, he said, why? India is a geographic expression, like equator. You cut it into 1,000 pieces, it remains a part of equator. Doesn't matter, let it be. It is not a geography. It is punya bhumi. This knowledge, this realization which came since the time of Vedas, at least that is what we know, that the whole creation is a family. We are all connected. And increasingly science today is proving it, that every element of creation shares some part of it with every other element of creation. Increasingly we are coming to realize this with modern scientific tools. But this realization came to this land. So, this punya bhumi, about which Mahakavi Bharati again said, when he said, Vedam ulayad in the nad, nala virar pirind in the nad, chedam illad Hindustanam, ida daiva mendru kumbitadi papa. Yeah, Devi, this is Devi. It is not a piece of land. Land is transactional. Territory is transactional, which the previous government did. China captured, Pakistan captured. One prime minister, out of generosity, gave a Kawa Valley to Burma. One prime minister thought Kachadevi, gave it to Sri Lanka. No, it was all everything going. Where is it? The essence, the Bharat. Bharat is not a geography. It is a living entity. It is a divine land. So Sri Aurobindo said that this is a divine land, Punya Bhumi, and this, now that the Bharat is independent, this light which is on Bharat, it must be spread to the whole world, rest of the world. So this philosophy, this darshan, this Sanatana Adhyatma has to spread to the whole world. And this is the destiny or divinely mandated duty of Bharat. It is not for Bharat alone, this light must spread to the whole world. Now, Mahamana was conscious of it. And that is how he, to preserve what was being destroyed while independence was not in sight, and to produce Bharatiyas equipped with both what it says, agrata sakalam sastram prishta sasra dhanu, ahead in all the knowledge, and equipped with the dhanu, power. After independence, we changed. We, in our zeal to become overly, with the policy of appeasement, we became overly secular. European secularism. And we started purging the government. I remember in my childhood, when I was in school, we used to study in our texts, in our classes. In high schools, we used to study Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam, all these things. We used to study about it. Systematically purged out. In our school, we used to have prayers. In our high school. Before the classes begin the day, students all assemble and say prayers. So the prayer used to be, Hey Prabhu, Anand Data, Gyan Hamko Dijiye, Lijiye Apne Sharan Mein Hum Sadachari Bane. Brahmachari, Dharma Rakshak, Veer, Vratadhari. As every student is taught to be a guardian, a protector of the Dharma. And in the course of that, the person dedicates himself or herself. All these systematically burst out. Dharma, talking about Dharma became something like an offense. People start raising their eyebrows. You're talking about. In fact, when I came to Tamil Nadu as governor, one of my earlier predecessors, he visited and he found there is a garden named Lakshmi Garden. Lakshmi Garden in Rajbhavan, is it not a secular place? Look at this, look at the thought process. We are looking at Lakshmi in terms of communal eye. What defines this country? What defines Bharat? If we remove all these, where is Bharat? It is such people who say, who are we? Some are Chinese, some are African, some are Negroes, some are all. Recently we heard someone talking about it. It is such, they don't understand what this country, what this nation is, what Bharat is. Systematically. And as a result, what happened? At the time, despite all the exploitation by the colonials, at the time of independence, we were the 6th largest economy in the world. And by 2014, we dipped down to 11th position. We became poorer. We started, since right from the beginning, in Bharat, which is essentially a Rashtra, is more than a political state, it always believed, and its strength was the empowered citizenry, the people. The people must be empowered. Every village is empowered. And government role is limited. Defense, adjudication, major disputes. Let people be empowered. What we started doing after independence? And in that spirit our constitution was made. A constitution was made to empower the people of this country, Bharat ke log. That is written, embedded in the very preamble of the constitution. But then our governments started making the people dependent more and more on the state, on the government. So much so that people lost their pride, their self-confidence, every matter. If there is a ditch in front of my house on the road, I will write a petition to the government. Look, here it is. It should be filled up. Why can't we do it? As a student, high school student in my village, when the rice cultivation season came, and we had to clean, desilt the tributary, so every villager, I have also participated in that, took the tools, implement, and we did collectively clean the whole, a couple of kilometers long tributary, which comes from the main canal, the water that takes the water to the field. We didn't go to the government, we didn't write a petition, the whole village did it. We had village pond. Every year, the village would collectively get together and desilt the pond before the rains so that the water is preserved. But systematically, that sense of pride, the sense of confidence was eroded, and people were made to depend more and more on the government. The government started becoming more and more powerful, and people got weaker and weaker. Now, this is not Bharat. This is not what Bharat was and Bharat meant to be. As a result, we continued becoming poorer. Even after 7 decades of independence, we were home of the largest number of sick and poor people in the world, in this country. The villages without light, homes without light, villages without connectivity, without drinking waters. Essentials of life were not available. And we kept talking about socialism, socialist, Garibi Hatao, remove poverty. It became a political slogan. This country, which used to, at some point of time, enjoy a place of pride, became an object, an entity which everyone started preaching. So many countries started advising, this is how you must do, this is what you must do. We were nowhere, just a populous country. Until 2014, a visionary leader for the first time, such a leader that comes once in a lifetime or perhaps once in a yuga, Narendra Modi came. The person who understands in whose blood, in whose every element of his body, he knows what Bharat is. And look, he started leading the nation. Leading the nation by empowering the people. Every scheme, every project, Jan Bhagidari, people's participation. Simple example. Till 2014, 60% of our people used to go for open defecation. Come out in the morning, go out driving on the road, you find people going with some bottle or something in the field. Nobody talked about it. This is a cultural issue. Cultural issue, open defecation. But with people's participation, within 5 years, we became open defecation free. You don't see the sight. The country which was nowhere in the domain of science and technology, we were the trailers. We had good institutions. We had ITs. We had aims. But they were just passing on a borrowed knowledge which was created somewhere else. There was no thrust on research and innovation. In terms of intellectual property, we were nowhere, not in the reckoning at all. Today, we are among the top 3 in innovations, in startups. Who is doing this? It is being done by our young men and women. Because we trust the people. Government job is not to control the lives of people. unless people, every citizen is empowered. And that empowerment can come only when you remove the obstacle and create the conducive atmosphere and trust in that person. A simple thing. Tax evasion. Until 10 years back, we had hardly 2 crore people who were paying direct income tax. Today the number is more than 10 crores. From where they came? Voluntarily people are coming forward. You trust the people. Our people, inherently they are good. But if you don't trust them, all these distortions will begin. People will start evading taxes. They have no confidence in you. You have no confidence in me. People have no confidence in you. That's all, as simple as that. Trust. Trust. From 11th economy, an economy which used to be called by economists who had created Hindu rate of growth, that this is how India will grow, Bharat will grow. Today we are the fastest growing large economy in the world. We are already the 5th largest, and everyone except the world acknowledges that in the next 3 to 4 years, we are going to be the number 3 economy in the world. No one can stop it. From being at the margin of the world affairs, we are at the center of the world affairs. From a time when our voice was not heard, today, when Bharat speaks, when the Prime Minister of Bharat speaks, the whole world listens and listens with attention. From a time when we were irrelevant, today, most of the conflict in the world, people look to Bharat with hope and expectation that Bharat can bring about the reconciliation. Look at this, what is happening in the very case of this Russia-Ukraine war. Both the sides they say, you do it, you can do it, that trust. Now all these transformations which are happening, it are happening because you have a leader who understands Bharat, and you have a government which is following the vision of the leader and laying down the policies which are citizen-centric, people-centric. Earlier, our development was so uneven. There were relatively developed states, there were bimaru sick states. Even in the developed states, you had huge differences, unevenness. Why? Is it the way? No. So, development must be all-inclusive. Development must. When we say all-inclusive, it is not just to say that every house, even gender. For long we have been talking about women empowerment. It is a very condescending expression that you empower the women. Everyone, every householder knows that the core, the backbone of the house is the lady of the house. And yet we are talking about empowerment. You remove the obstructions, create the environment where they all come. You create the situations when you have no toilet. When you have no, for the drinking water, the lady has to go far off to get the water. For cooking food, she has to despoil her eyes, burning charcoal. She is not the owner of the house. Multiple ways, unless you create that environment. How do you talk about? You can talk about, as they kept talking about poverty. They kept talking about poverty and we continued becoming poorer. It's the first time in the last 10 years that 250 million people of this country, poor people, have been pulled out of poverty. 25 crores. In our own state, I looked into some data about Mudra loan. You know, there is a small loan which they get collateral up to 10 lakhs, now it is up to 20 lakhs. People can get. In our state, till 2 months back, 1 crore 20 lakhs people had taken that loan. 1 crore 20 lakhs people of Tamil Nadu had taken Mudra loan. And I have gone and visited the areas, rural areas, districts. I was amused and inspired, happy to see the women forming a small self-group, taking each of 5 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 10 lakhs, and doing this business. And my most unexpected surprise was when some people said that, sir, with Mudra loan, I am running a jewelry shop. Now, how can you think of a jewelry shop with Mudra loan? He says that, no, sir, 10 lakh rupees, buy 100 gram, 150 gram pure gold. And with that I make, and I sell it, and I again get the loan, get my money. It keeps circulating. I am doing it, a small one. My family is happy, we are earning some money. Now imagine, enterprise. Enterprise, you are giving opportunity. This is New Bharat. This is the dream with Mahamana had, to create the Bharat. And this is with, on the one hand, we have a spiritual resurgence. On the other hand, we have, in the field of science and technology, we are leading. Today, the campus in which we are sitting, IIT Madras, this institution is producing almost nearly 400 patents a year. 400 patents a year. Now this explosion in creating intellectual property, how did it happen? The students were before. Not that they were less intelligent, they were less bright. They were not. They were equally bright. But we didn't create the environment. Today, the same students are doing wonders in every sector. In a space sector, we have more than 300 startups. Think of it, it was. In every area, our people are doing wonders. This is because Bharat is being rebuilt with the idea of Bharat, with the strength of Bharati, not by the government. Because that government, that model, it doesn't suit this country. It is not in the gene of this country. But when we are growing and we are moving forward with a resolve that in the next 2.5 decades, this country will be a fully developed, self-reliant country. And we are confident that we will be, and the young people, of course, they would be at the helm of affairs at the time. There are challenges. And today, my friends, challenges are more than ever before. These are not challenges of our resources, no. We have plenty. Whether material or human resource, intellectual or material resource, there is no dearth of resource in our country. The challenges will come from the hostile forces. When we have an independent foreign policy, we don't like to be guided by others. We will do what is in the best interest of Bharat and at the same time in the best interest of the world. Because Bharat has never been parochial. When we hosted the G20, look at this. For the first time, a large part of humanity, African Union, which was kept out, which was not in the decision making, it was brought in the table and made part of it. It was because of Bharat, because we don't believe that we are only we. We have to. The whole world has to be. And that is why the global South looks up Bharat as a leader to protect their interest. We made African Union as a member of G20. We demonstrated it at the time of the world most horrific pandemic. When the rich and developed countries, when they developed the vaccines, they started making money, our people. When we made it, we shared it with more than 150 countries in the world. So when There is a conflict between Russia and Ukraine. One side says join us, other side says, join us. Earlier our policy was, no, we will be non-aligned, we will not be anyone. No. You cannot remain non-aligned in the world today. You cannot be indifferent to what is happening in any part of the world, because that impacts the whole world. If some suffering is happening in one corner of the world, Bharat has to be concerned about it, because this is not Bharat to look the other way. So today, from not being with you or with you and being non-aligned, there is a marked fundamental shift, paradigm shift. When Bharat said, look, we are not with you, we stand by peace. War and conflict is not a means of resolving a dispute. We outrightly reject it. There is a world of difference between saying we are non-aligned, so we will not look at you, then we are looking at you and we want you, both of you, what you are doing is wrong, both of you are wrong, come along, resolve it by sitting on the table, talking to it. This moral strength that you get is being appreciated by the world around. Look, it took more than almost seven decades for an Indian Prime Minister to go to Israel. Because our people were scared, if you go to Israel, you will lose vote here, you will displease. Why? Why do you distrust the people, a section of people of our country? Why do you distrust? Why don't you believe that no, they are equally Bharatiya, they have equal interest in the well-being of our country? This sick mind, it prevented a Prime Minister to go to Israel for almost 7 decades, until Prime Minister Modi went. So look, we took a position. Palestine as an state should be there. We believe in two-state solution. That's fine, but it should be there. That is our stated policy. And until Palestine comes into being, we will maintain our relations. Today we have the best of relations with Arab countries. In fact, on the one hand, people try to accuse the government of all kinds of lies. On the other hand, we have the best of relations with the countries which are supposed to be the custodian of those values. Why? People lacked confidence. Now, when this country is rising like this, all around, our foreign policy is like independent foreign policy. The countries who have so far treated you as their vassal, as the one who looked upon them, they will not be happy with you. The countries which looked at the world as a hegemon, dictating, those power will not be happy with you. When it comes to economic policy, you say we will be self-reliant. The countries which have so far treated Bharat as a market, will they be happy with you? They would like you to remain a market. They would like to consume whatever they produce. So all these forces, and the forces within which have profited from all kinds of sectarian politics, whether linguistic chauvinism, in the name of race, religion, language, region, they have tried to divide this country and ruled. The families have ruled. They feel threatened with the rise of this new Bharat. Look at this. There are people who want to divide it, caste and more caste. You see the list in Tamil Nadu, in our own state. You say OBC, the list goes page after page after page. How many OBCs are there in this? So you look into scheduled caste, more than 200, I have lost. Number of castes in this country have more than doubled since 1951. From where the new castes are coming? Number of tribes have multiplied. Now, friends, if you look at what is the difference, and if you do not look at what unites and keep you together, then if you only look at differences, we are all different here. There is no end to it. It's like a scale of a fish. No two scales are alike. No two leaves of a tree are alike. If you start looking at trees from the perspective of a leaf, the tree will cease to exist. That is not the way. People boldly say, no, no, caste must be empowered. They are the people. Such forces are big challenge to the rise of Bharat. Big lies are going to be a big threat. Lies. Constitution is in danger. Those who have spoiled and distorted the constitution for the sake of chair and power, they are the ones who are shouting at the rooftop, constitution is in danger. How do you tackle these lies? And here comes the role of Youth for Nation. Because it is the youth and youth alone, and enlightened youth, who can meet the challenge. They are not only just our future, they are the one who will ensure our bright future. They are the one who will ensure to achieve the target of Purna Vikshit, fully developed Bharat, a self-reliant Bharat. Youth for Nation, you have a big task before you. Going among the youth, visiting institutions, creating that awareness, the awareness which is our heritage from the past. And it is today, it has been rekindled by our Prime Minister, our national leader. A person who is, coming from a poor family, with no one behind him in his own family who can claim to be the inheritor of his property. The guy who lives round the clock only for the country, for the nation. This, with such a leader, which comes once in a lifetime. When we are moving forward, the awareness about the nation, the nation's goal, the nation's spirit, the rise of new Bharat, and the problems that we are going to encounter, challenges that we are going to face, our youth must be aware of it. They must be sensitized. They must be conscious. Our youth are not, unfortunately. We have a huge task before us. Some time back, I started a small, I won't call it camp, but a conclave for the youth of our universities, postgraduate and research PhD students. We called them to Raj Bhavan. We had a 2 days camp. Introduction of Bharat. When the students came, the first they were livid. Chancellor has said, Governor said, no option but to come. Vice Chancellor asked you to go, you come. But they were very unhappy. What is this man is going to do? But by the end of the first session means pre-lunch, post-lunch of the first very day, there was a change in their whole attitude, behavior. By the end of the first day, they came and said, we were not aware of it. And when it concluded, they came with a request, sir, you should organize more such camps. Awareness about Bharat, awareness about who we are and what all potentials we have, what is our national goal. And you, each one of you, because each one of you is our national asset. That person is not just a son or daughter of his or her parent or a member of his or her family. Each youth is a national asset. And that asset must blossom to the full potential to make this country great, to restore the glory of this country. So Youth for Nation, you have opened a chapter of Tamil Nadu, Puducherry. I wish you the very best. All. I'm sure with your effort, you will be able to rekindle the sense of pride among our people. Friends, once again, the great sons of Bharat, both Mahamana and Atalji, we will ever be grateful to them for doing what they did to make this nation great, to build this nation. And it is our duty to take it forward and fulfill their dreams, which is already spelled out, a fully developed Bharat in the next 2.5 decades. And I am fully confident we'll do it. And in this, every one of us, old or young, has role to play. Because we are fortunate to be a witness of this transformation, and at the same time, an agent of this transformation. Wherever we are, we have to bring about the change. I am sure we will achieve the change. Thank you very much. Jai Bharat.
Mr. Govindram Agarwal will present the magazine to our Governor, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu. Thank you very much, sir, for your most inspiring speech. We will next be moving to the vote of thanks, followed by national anthem, and then we will move to the next part of the program. There will be a play, exclusive excerpts from Operation 71 Tamil play, about 20 minutes, followed by some entertainment program, and then we will have another humorous skit by alumni of BHU. Now we will have the vote of thanks by Major Madan. He is an alumnus of Officers Training Academy and a man and holds a management degree from XLRI. A soldier to the core, he is an entrepreneur, a YouTuber, a hardcore nationalist, photographer, and many more. Secretary of Youth for Nation, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry Chapter, Major Madan Kumar.
Jai Hind, everyone. First of all, very special thanks to His Excellency, Thiru R.N. Ravi, Governor of Tamil Nadu. Sir, 40 minutes, I would put it this way, it's a high-intensity capsule course which rekindled the history of Bharat, came to the present era, and we, as Sir had put the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, the role which Youth for Nation is expected to play. Thank you so much, sir. We will live up to your expectations. Thanks to all the Y4N national dignitaries on stage. Thanks to all the Y4N regional dignitaries who are present here. Thanks to BHU. First time I'm fortunate enough to attend this event on this day. Thanks to all the dignitaries, the wonderful alumni and the families out here, the kids out here. It's a blessing. பாரத்தின் 2 பெரிய தவ புதல்வர்கள் அவர்களுடைய இந்த பிறந்தநாள் நினைவன்று யூத் ஃபார் நேஷனின் பயணத்தை துவக்க இருக்கிறோம். இந்த பயணம் தொடரும், பெரிய வெற்றிகளை பெறும். அனுபவத்திற்கும் இளைஞர்களுக்கும் பாலமாக இந்த பயணம் இருக்கும் என்பதை உங்களுடன் உறுதி கொள்கிறேன். இங்கே இருக்கக்கூடிய மீடியா நண்பர்கள் 4 மணியிலிருந்து இங்கே வந்து கடந்து காலிலிருந்து நின்று கொண்டு இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை மக்களிடம் கொண்டு சென்ற உங்களுக்கு மிகப்பெரிய நன்றி. மதியம் 2 மணியிலிருந்து இங்கே வந்து இந்த பனியிலும் மழையிலும் மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு இந்த பாதுகாப்பாக இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை நடத்துவதற்கு தமிழக காவல்துறை உங்களுடைய அனைவருக்கும் எங்களுடைய நன்றி. ப்ரொஃபஸர் காமகோட்டி சார் இந்த அரங்கம் மட்டுமன்றி அவர் கொடுத்த அந்த ஆதரவு, அந்த சப்போர்ட், அவருக்கும் ஐஐடி மேனேஜ்மெண்ட், மெட்ராஸ் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்டுக்கும் மிகப்பெரிய நன்றி. இங்கே இருந்து இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை பின்னாடி இருந்து நடத்திய நூற்றுக்கணக்கான பேர், பல இளைஞர்கள், அவர்களுக்கும் என்னோட மனமார்ந்த நன்றி. இந்த நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு உணவு ஸ்பான்சர் செய்த ஸ்பான்சர்ஸ், இங்கே இருக்கக்கூடிய சிறு சிறு நிகழ்வுகள், ஆஸ் தே சே வேர் தெர் இஸ் அ வெல் தெர் இஸ் அ வே, இங்கு நடந்த அனைத்தும் ஒரு வாலண்டரி It's a self-made contribution, a voluntary contribution. There was no hierarchy. Thanks to all of them. If I would have left anybody's name, sincere apologies. Thanks to all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Major Madan. We will now stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद
Jai Hind. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Okay. May I request the dignitaries to move on to the audience? Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Op 71, can we have you?